Hey everyone, we got our fantastic coaching call tonight. I think this is the first time ever I've been seated for one of these calls. I just realized that. I put my chair in front of me and I'm sitting tonight with all of y'all. Usually I'm standing. But tonight's topic, we're gonna talk about sugar. Sugar is a big one. Sugar is hidden in a lot of our food. So we're gonna go over some of the names that sugar is hidden with. We're going to talk about healthy options, what kind of sugar we use, basically the good, the bad, the ugly. As Alex wants me to say, it's sugar talk, baby. Awesome. Okay. Here we go, guys. First off, is there good sugar? Is there bad sugar? Well, we don't really define anything as bad. I would say that there is healthy sugar and there's sugar that your body would see as toxic, all right? And typically, I would go right to Eric, okay, which we still, he's ready. All right, go for it. He's got his Tupac shirt on. He is so ready. All right, go ahead, Eric. Start off the call of sugar, man. Go for it.
Well, my favorite type of sugar is Sugar Ray. No, I just had to say that.
It's on my list of names.
Right. My good substitute for sugar, what I use is honey.
Mm-hmm.
Because it sweetens it up and it's natural. Doesn't get much more natural than bee excrete.
Bee excretion.
Yes.
Suddenly I'm feeling very red and flush.
So that's what I use. That and Splenda. I like to put Splenda on my donuts. I mean stevia in my coffee.
There you go. We wouldn't allow Splenda. So what is Splenda? Splenda is, if you think about those yellow packets, that is Splenda. Also known as ACE-K, acesulfamine, potassium. That's all just ACE-K or Splenda is one of the more harmful, toxic, man-made sugars out there. And why is it toxic? And of course I'll tell you. It's because what happens is when we ingest it, it will attach itself to a cell and attack it or try to manipulate it, which is not good because everything's linked to cancer. The truth is what causes cancer is a deformed cell, okay? Or a cell that's being attacked and your body will start attacking the cell, which is also kind of, we go into autoimmune disorders that way. But basically what a processed sugar or a toxic sugar will do is it will attack your cell or it will manipulate or deform your cell. And that is the start of how cancer can be caused. So that is why things seemingly, it seems like everything causes cancer. Reality is anything man-made is pretty much going to be almost always. There are some cases not true, but can be considered toxic to the body. If you can't grow it in your backyard, okay, you shouldn't be consuming it. We're bodies of energy from the earth. We need to eat things made of energies from the earth, period. Whether that sounds hippie or not, it's just the science of it. That is the deciding factor whether something is for the body or not. So Nicole, I know this is a topic that you really wanted to discuss as well. What's your 2 cents? What do you want to say about sugar?
I don't know. I think people just get very confused when it comes to all the fad diets and you get into like glycemic index and spiking of sugar and like people are afraid of fruit. And I hate that. I hate when I see that or hear that. And they're like, I heard you're not supposed to have bananas if you're trying to lose weight. And I'm like, who said that? Why? Why can't you eat a banana? So I think people just get very confused. I always say, look for added sugars.
Yep.
Especially things as simple as, condiments especially are loaded with sugar.
Yes.
marinades, dressings, ketchup. We do a lot of our own like organic-y stuff, but you know, sometimes they can tell the difference and sometimes we can't. And I don't know, but yeah, looking for added sugars, grocery shopping and feeding your family, that's a quick way to like kind of cut your sugar in half. Diet sodas are just a huge no.
Yeah.
Soda in general, diet or not diet, like I don't know which is worse, but they're all garbage.
Yeah, and I'm sure we've all seen like the comparison of like the spoonfuls of sugar in one soda can. I mean, that's disgusting. You know, is diet soda better than regular soda? Absolutely not. If you had to choose, I would prefer regular soda. Okay, only because yeah, the sugar in it is still sugar. It's still chemicalized, like it's bleached and stuff, and that's not good either. But at least it's got some sort of natural state to it. Actually, by that process, it typically doesn't, but it won't attack your cells the way a diet soda would. That's for sure. But I'm glad you brought up fruit though, Nicole, because you know, my mind didn't go to fruit when we thought of sugars, because that obviously isn't on my radar when it comes to sugar. But yeah, fruit, people are scared of fruit. That's completely true. So there's two types of sugars found in fruit. One is fructose and one is glucose. Okay, those are the two types of sugars in fruit. And glucose, that's the stuff that our body stores in order for us to do cardiovascular activities, or that's the stuff our body uses first. It is the first source our body will burn for energy. And our body can only store so much of it before it's stored into like fat cells and stuff like that. People always say, okay, let me give you an example. Like orange juice is healthy because oranges are healthy. So let me break down the real basic fact there, because fruit will impact your glycemic index, or the rate that the sugar raises your blood sugar. Okay. And basically that's when the insulin comes in to metabolize everything, blah, blah, blah. But the difference between an orange and orange juice is just the pure sugar. You're drinking the straight sugar of orange. So when it goes into your bloodstream, it's going to spike like crazy. Not to mention all the vitamins in there are fortified, meaning they're man-made and they don't deliver to your body, you just piss them out. So you're just drinking straight sugar that looks like orange juice and is marketed as healthy. When you take an orange, okay, you're coming from an original source that hopefully still has some real nutrition in it. It's got fiber in it, which slows down the impact of your sugar. So when you're eating an orange and all that pulp and all that stuff that people don't like, that's the fiber of the fruit. So when you combine the fiber and the sugar of the juice from the orange, it's going to affect your blood sugar much differently. And that's the difference between eating an orange and drinking the juice. The juice is going to be a much higher calorie, much higher impact on your nutrition, and barely little to no nutritional impact. Whereas Eric raised his hand. You can go next. Whereas the orange itself has the fiber, it will slow down the impact of sugar on your blood and yada yada. Go ahead, Eric. You're muted though.
Thank you. So does that mean that orange juice with pulp is better for you than
I knew you were gonna ask that. Well, you're still gotta remember you're not coming from the true source either. So it's never gonna be as good as coming from the true source.
Okay, thank you.
And there's orange juice with pulp is still not gonna have enough pulp in it. Because if you've ever taken an orange, okay, and squeezed the juice out of it, you're only gonna have a tiny bit of juice to all this pulp. Now, when they sell juice with pulp in it, it's a complete different ratio. The ratio is not the same. So the impact is still gonna be greater with juice with pulp. Yes. I'm glad you brought up fruit. That's cool. All right, someone else talk, because you know I can go on forever about, I could name so many different ingredients that sugar is known for, okay, in our foods. I'm sure maybe some of you want to know what those are. Yes, you want to know, or you have something to say, Nicole?
I was going to ask your opinion or thoughts about agave.
Ooh, agave. Yeah, so I mean, if you do research, you're gonna get conundrums. You are. It's good, it's bad, it's blah, 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 and you get that on everything. Even honey, you search honey, you know? The thing is, it's a natural state, okay? Agave is much better than white sugar, okay? It's more of a natural state, it's less processed, it's going to be a healthier option. Just like honey is going to be a healthier option, just like maple syrup is going to be a healthier option. But remember, these all contain calories, and that's why these fake sugars came out, because you can sweeten things with no calories. Now we have stevia, okay? But agave, stevia, even maple syrup, even honey can be put on the shelf called honey, called maple syrup, or actually it's called pancake syrup now. Things like Truvia, okay? All these things are marketed as like Splenda or agave or maple syrup or honey. But if you look at, remember how I told you, look at the ingredient list, it's gonna tell the truth. It's not pure. It only has a little bit of the natural stuff in it. It's filled with a bunch of other crap. That's why that Aunt Jemima stuff, that's not maple syrup. That is colored sugar. It's colored sugar. You might as well just put sugar on your pancakes, melt it on the stove, and put it on your pancakes. You know, I recommend just taking like frozen fruit, putting it in a little saucepan, boiling it for a bit to reduce the water intake. Throw that on your pancakes. There's a natural sweetener. You get your fiber, lot less calories, antioxidants, which is something you won't find in the juice either. So that's my suggestion. But agave, it is one of the healthier ones. But this is the debate, is we should be eating foods that come from our region. Agave does not, unless you live where there's agave trees. That's why when it comes to honey, if you really want the benefits of honey, you should be eating honey local. Like, go to your local bee man and get honey there, because the bees are pollinating the flowers and getting all those allergens in the air that you live and breathe every day. So when you ingest all of that stuff from the honey and the bees, okay, from your environment, it creates a stronger immune system. Same with the maple syrups. All your food should be local. So whenever you can buy from like a farmer's market that is from a farm in your area, that is the absolute best food for you, period. Okay? So yeah, agave is a much better choice compared to anything else. Just make sure it's pure agave. You know, it's still gonna have calories in it, for sure. Anything else? Anybody have something to say on sugar? Go, you don't have to raise your hand, Dan.
Call on me. So yeah, you were talking about glycemic index. That has a big impact. I don't know if you wanted to mention, it also like leads to things like diabetes, other health effects too that are not healthy.
Yes.
Do you want to mention that?
Yeah, absolutely. So what happens why is glycemic index so important? Well, there's two types of diabetes, yes. There's type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is inherited, okay? Meaning it's generational, all right? Type 2 is extremely common because you do it to yourself, and at the same time, you can cure it through nutrition. You do it through wrong nutrition, you can cure it through proper nutrition. So what happens with diabetes, okay, is your body is not producing enough insulin to metabolize the sugar, or B, your body becomes resistant and actually your body ends up attacking. Okay. So with those different types of diabetes, when you spike your blood sugar over and over and over and over again, it's not healthy for your body at all. Okay. Not to mention the stress levels that happen. So it's on that fight and flight all the time from that release of insulin. All right. It overwhelms the body. So what happens with a blood sugar spike is you eat something that's super high in sugar, your blood sugar spikes super high. Now, if your normal range was supposed to be about up between 70 and 90, now we're talking it's going up to 200. Your body's like, oh my God, release insulin to help metabolize it. What that does, and it releases cortisol too because it's stressed out, is it will drop it below the normal levels. Okay, the insulin will actually drop it below your normal levels, and then you start getting cravings. You want more sugar. So then you're like, oh, give them orange juice to raise that blood sugar, right? You're just repeating the same offense. You're going up and down when you really just want to stay even keel. When that up and down happens, that's when your insulin becomes messed up. You become resistant to it, or you overproduce it, depending on which way your body goes, okay? So that's pretty much the base of what happens. All right, hopefully that covers it. Go ahead, Eric.
What has more sugar, gummy bears or those red fishes?
Swedish fish.
Swedish fish.
I believe they're probably the same recipe. They're just molded different.
Okay. So when gummy bears are out of the bowl,
which one's bigger?
which one's bigger?
The Swedish fish is bigger. So if you eat one Swedish fish and one mini gummy bear, I would say the fish has more sugar.
Okay. In or out of the bowl?
In or out of the bowl. However you like it.
Okay.
Yes. So just to give a couple names of sugar, common ones like rice syrup, maltose is another one. You guys, we mentioned agave, malt syrup, beet sugar is a big one coming up. Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, anything that's confectioners or fruit syrups, dextrose, that is, or lactose is actually sugar. A lot of people don't know that lactose is the sugar of milk. Maltodextrin is actually the sugar of corn. It's derived from corn. Maltitol, maltose, I named all the M's I can think of. Molasses, sucrose, sorghum syrup is one. Regular white sugar, coconut sugar, cane sugar.
Don't forget us brown sugar.
Brown sugar. Basically, brown sugar is
molasses and white sugar.
Molasses and white sugar put together. You got it, girl.
If you ever run out of it, you just make your own.
Malt is a sugar. Yep. Fructose, we talked about that.
Birch. I think there's like birch. You can get sugar from birch now.
I'm sure. Those are the most common that you see in ingredients that people don't know are in forms of sugar. I mean, there's probably up to 90 different names of sugar found in our ingredients. But most people don't realize sugar comes in a lot of forms. But if you look close enough, you'll see like 5 or 6 different sugars in processed food. So much added sugar. And it's all man-made. It's all stuff you can't grow in your backyard. You can't even grow in the tropics and gas it up and import it to ourselves. Yeah.
It tastes good, so whatever.
It's meant to because it's made in a lab. I mean, if you knew the exact combination to make to get those taste buds wanting more and that hormonal release where you'd be like, ooh, I want more, just like any drug does to us, of course you're going to do it. McDonald's does it. Every fast food restaurant does it. They know the exact combination of salt to sweet to savory to put into something for you to want and crave, because it releases these chemical reactions in our head, and it makes you think about it. It makes you feel happy. When you feel happy, your body wants to reproduce that effect over and over again. Crazy.
The syrup that McDonald's uses from Coca-Cola is actually a special formula, sweeter than normal Coca-Cola, just for McDonald's.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now that you bring
5% more sugar.
Yes. Yeah. Let's really have to roll these people out of here.
Yeah. All right, guys. Anyone have any other questions? Anything else they would like to add to this? This was hopefully very informative for a lot of people. Educational. Yeah, it's good. So stick to your natural sugars. Local honey, local maple syrup are going to be your best bets. If you want to go for a no-calorie sweetener, Splenda. Not Splenda. Oh, my God. What are you doing to me? Stevia in its natural form, 100% stevia leaf, okay, is going to be your best bet here. Any other sugar, probably not the best choice. So, but remember, it's going to have calories too, and they all are going to impact your blood sugar. So small amounts, eating with things, not straight from a spoon, that is still going to impact your sugar like a juice or like any kind of other sugar will, okay? Eating honey, there you go. That's what we buy. Same stuff. Liquid stevia from Trader Joe's. It's good stuff. Very good stuff in our coffee every morning, But that's what we got for you guys today. Hopefully you got some good nuggets from that. And next time you go shopping, you're going to look at labels and see how many sugars you can find. That's interesting. See how many sugars you can find in processed food. I guarantee your eyes are going to be open a little more. Play back this video, write down the ones that I talked about. Those are most popular. But remember, it can come, I think it's like 90 something names. It could be more nowadays. It's pretty wild. I'm sure you can Google it too. So, all right, guys. Awesome. Love these calls. Hope, again, that we were informative and we gave you some nuggets. And until next time, keep rocking at life, everyone. And we will talk soon. Adios. Peace out, guys. Woohoo!